Hello everyone, marvelous morning here. KJ4YZI with HamRadioConcepts. A little video update here on something I'm going to replace in my truck. Now, I want to give you an update on my little Tarheel HP. What an awesome antenna. This thing has been great. A lot of people have asked about it. They've asked on, has it been working good? Has it held up to smacking things? Yes, it actually has. So, unfortunately, it's not hooked up right now. I just screwed it on here for the video. I've had this off for about a month. Unfortunately, as some people had mentioned, and it's finally happened, the mount that I had holding this was an MFJ mount. Now, I don't like to bash anybody because I've used MFJ mounts for a while and they've worked fine. Although with the weight of this Tarheel, it didn't hold up to it. And so I had to get a new mount. Now, I always assume everybody knows exactly what I have and what the videos are. There's a lot of newcomers, so it's just as beneficial to make a video quickly on my new mount that I have. Now, this is the old MFJ mount, and with the wind, if you're driving, it pushed back, and then it started bending, so I started taking it off. It's been off for a month. I have a diamond K400 mount. Now, this is pretty much a staple when it comes to mobile antenna mounts. The K400 can be used on a trunk, a hatchback, on the side of the door like I have it here, on the hood, on the lip. It's a lip mount, but it's heavy duty. It is a better more rugged quality than an MFJ, but again, MFJ may hold you for a simple ham stick and stuff like that, but it did not hold for the Tarheel, the little Tarheel, and probably wouldn't hold for the big Tarheel. So what I'm going to do is show you real quick and what the difference would be in a mount like this versus that. Now, another thing I've noticed is I talked to a couple people and they said they have the same antenna. In fact, Jay, locally, I saw him yesterday in the parking lot, and this is what made me really get out here and finish this. Jay, a local club member, has the little Tarheel HP, but he's got the big whip on it, and he has it bent over. So you can't, with the tree here, you probably can't see it, but I'm in the shade. The little Tarheel HP comes with, I think this is what, a 24 or 36, not even a 36-inch whip. And he said, Eric, you got to get the bigger one. The bigger one gives you 80 meters and more efficiency on the higher bands with a longer whip. Let's see if I can look at it this way. All right. And so Tarheel does have that information on their website on the longer whip. So that is one thing I'm going to get. I'm going to purchase the longer whip. It has been great with the little whip, although on 40 it's been a little rough. 20, it's like shooting a fish in a barrel. 10 meters, when I hear contacts, it's great. But let me take this off real quick. So the motorized coil here goes up and down. This is the point of a Tarheel or mini Tarheel. Is it's motorized. It connects to a controller or a manual switch that you have in your cab, and it does. This one will do in its form 40 through 6 meters at 500 watts. Now, if you get the longer antenna, it does give you more efficiency with a longer radiator on top, and I think that gives you 80 as well for that. But that's the little whip, just the shorty, and I'm going to put the long one on there. One thing that happened was when this mount came flying back with the wind, of course this little inductor to ground, or wire wound, whatever, to ground, stretched out, pulled way out, and wasn't good. I had to rewrap it. So that does have to be on there, and that does go on this part here to ground. Okay, the K4 mount does come with instructions in here. It's very simple to use. Now, with this K400 mount, it does come with, you can get two options, I think 6 foot and 13.5 foot, with a mini UHF connector. Now you may say, well, I don't have a mini UHF. Fine. They give you an adapter, mini UHF to SO or PL259. Your Allen wrenches and everything that you need to get this thing attached. This is PTFE coax, I guess, and here's your lip mount. This one comes with the 3/8 by 24, which is what I need for the Tarheel, and the reinforcing backer. So it does look identical to other mounts, but the quality is a little bit different. I've had one person that y'all know, and I won't mention his name, but he said you should be ashamed to compare a MFJ to a diamond. I wasn't really comparing. The diamond is a much more rugged and well-known design, but some people they need to save the money, and they don't have a big antenna, and it works fine. Here is the ground strap that has continued to stay there and flex with opening and closing the door. So this is going to be the same thing. What I'll do is I'll pop this on. You got your Allen screws here the backing plate. Now, one thing to say, to make, that I realized in this installation is you can see here, you want to make sure you scrape the paint off that door, because if you look, this is like a rubberized, let's back this out a little bit. That's like rubberized there. And if you bite those little Allen screws in, it's not gonna bite into the metal. So what you want to do is scrape that off, like I did. Scrape it to bare metal so that the Allen screws do bite into the metal. And you may be asking, well, what is this for? Well, with a mobile HF antenna, or mobile antenna of any matter, if you bolt it to the door, the most effective ground you have is through this hinge. This hinge here, and that hinge there, and that's really not the best ground to the body with any vehicle. You don't want to go through expect that hinge there is going to provide a solid bond between your door and the body. So that I used this ground strap here, and I strapped the door right to the body, so that way it is a solid ground. So I could have went to the bottom of the mount here, but there wouldn't have been enough room. So that's been working good so far. It tunes flat. I get great reports. I've worked hundreds of contacts mobile, and it's been working. So let me slap this K400 on real quick. Here's another difference here. If you look at this side by side, the diamond, the coax is fed up and it splits off, one going to the bottom of that feed point and one going to the entire mount, so that the mount is grounded with the shield of the coax. Whereas the MFJ mount, goes up and goes right to the bottom here. I'm not sure if that's any better or worse, but that is another difference there. I'm sure that the diamond has that thought out quite good. So another thing I've noticed is the diamond mount versus the MFJ mount is a little bit longer. That's more bite on the metal, that's more surface area, more rigidity for a heavier antenna, or any antenna really. There's, you can see where I scratched the metal off before. That's where the diamond is going to bite onto. So what you do is you take this cap off here, and there's of course one Allen wrench there. Then there's another one on the back side right here. And you can adjust this. Listen though. I loosened it up, but it's got more teeth on this one, and that's what's gonna hold my Tarheel from flipping back at 80-mile-an-hour winds. All right, so I'm gonna loosen this here. All right, now I can take this, go up, all right, so I can see how to make this straight, So right about there is going to be straight. All right, and I wrenched that down with the Allen wrench. Man, that is going nowhere. It's those teeth. You'd have to really hit something massive to bust those teeth off. I guess the previous MFJ one had like compression rings here, and as you tightened it, it squeezed together. This has got teeth in there. Maybe not teeth, but it's like a, whatever you call it, serrated, whatever. That's not going anywhere. I mean, that is on there. And that's how it should look like that, okay? Got my little capacitor there to ground right back on. Make sure, just as I said in the previous video, make sure you put some no corrode. The Tarheel came with it. Deox, you don't want oxidized connections on the threaded 3/8x24 there. And that right here is very important. Got to have that on there. Tells you in the manual, you got to have that in order to get this in the tune right. Lock washer's in there. This thing is really solid. I mean, it's it's got a heavy wind load on it, so you got to have a good mount. Again, I don't want to ever say that MFJ is trash versus diamond. No, MFJ will work just fine in most instances, but in this instance, it did not. And I had to go with the diamond, and I always assume everybody knows what a diamond is. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't know what a K400 mount is. Maybe you don't know the difference between one versus the other. Hopefully this video shows you. But for those who are asking, I'm thinking about getting a Tarheel. What's the update? How's it been working for you? It's been great until that happened, but I'll let you know when I get that long whip what happens. And I did get the Tarheel from MFJ. They're a distributor for Tarheel antennas. This is the little Tarheel 2, 6 through 40. And it's been great. So that's it, guys. 7.3 KJ4YZI.